is CADMA here from Bit and Apple TV. We are here at New York City Comic Con. You know we are back at Source Points Press. We love you guys absolutely so much.
Yeah, we love you too.
Y'all recognize my wife, Kasey, right?
That's right.
Oh my God, Nora's still amazing. For those of you, if you haven't read it, get on it. Like, come on, you can't be falling behind the times. What else is up in store for Nora? Because I mean, after you read the first issue and then you get further into it and you start to realize how her abilities work, you start to kind of either feel sorry for her or wonder if it might kind of be cool on a drunk night if you had those abilities.
You know, she carries such a tragic demeanor, so you'll find out, you know, just why she is so mercenary about what she does. You know, and it does have to do with her being one half of a bioweapons team in the past. So in each issue you get a window into her dark past. You'll start to piece together how she's able to do what she does, which is retrieving people from or helping them cross over in their comas.
Okay, so the first time, like when I first read the book, I was like intense. I know you guys might have seen the Apples on the Go review that I did of it. I was lost into like what she was doing, and then when she finally comes out of his mind, I was like, oh my God, I was just in somebody else's mind. So for the books that are coming up, I mean, her history is a little messed up. You kind of find out like what she was working on. I guess, is she really trying to like make it up to people for what she's done? I don't want to give too much away.
Right. Well, there's you know, she doesn't see it as a road to redemption because what's done is done. You know, I mean, being a contract killer basically for the United States military was basically the job. It's a very savage thing, but she does it just, you know, to feel a bit better about herself, but also to not have it's so hard not to give it away, but what had happened in the past, she doesn't want it to be out of vain. And I think that's the underlying thing, and that's why she's doing what she does.
Okay, because I got all personal. I was all emotional and stuff. Like, would I do this to like make up for stuff? Like, when you read Nora, you find yourself asking yourself questions that you never thought you would ask yourself. It's like almost like Pieces of Madness. So what else is going to be in store? What other crossovers? Anything else coming up?
Yeah, I do have a Kickstarter that drops on Halloween. It's a Viking Witch series. They're all I know you would love it. They're all self-contained stories. It's basically Norse mythology meets the craft. And it's in the style of heavy metal, really raw, gritty, sexy. It's going to be a lot of fun. Takes place on the southern shores of Iceland in the late 400s. And that will be dropping on Halloween for the first issue. We'll kickstart that. And I'm also doing content editing for Deepwater Games, which is a new territory for me, tabletop gaming, and I'm doing it for Sovereign Skies, which is one of the first American-based tabletop games for Deepwater Games. So I'm very proud to represent. I was brought on to the team of some amazing writers, and you know, they all sort of tell this sci-fi story. It's a world building, you know, and so I came into.
Hey guys, can I? Oh,
Ben.
I'm so sorry.
Ben.
Sorry. This was an accident. I'm sorry.
That's because I keep scaring him all the time.
I feel really bad about it, guys. I'm gonna go over here. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have my back.
I'm sorry. Oh,
wait.
hi.
Oh, hey, what's going on? You go this way. I'm gonna go that way.
Exactly. Okay. Your foot's on the cord.
That's of course Mr. Ben Goldsmith, who writes the Seance Room.
That's going to appear in the next issue when people don't know which direction to walk into. It's going to be great.
World building for games is you know, it's kind of like comics, but at the same time, it's really not. So I came in and kind of, you know, merged the content, and we Star Trek'd it out, really. I mean, that's as much as I can talk about it right now, but I'm very, very proud to be a part of this team.
Oh my God, that is intense. We did do an interview with Deepwater because I feel like I could figure out the cure for herbalism. What is that like writing for a game? Because it's a different ball game. I mean, I have poetry. I have my own short stories I've written myself. But like writing for a game, because you're sort of like leaving it open for the player to be as creative as they can be without like limiting them.
Right. Well, what I want to stress too is that I did not write the game. I am simply content editing. I don't want to take anything away from these stellar writers who created this world. It takes a lot of understanding what you're building. You're building a story around strategic rules, and that's what makes it so different. So when I set out to do some content editing, I had read, every writer's take on what is happening in this world, and I did what I know how to do, and I took it from the main character perspective, or the player, and to introduce this world, I wrote a narrative. I wrote a long monologue, and I said it explains the rules of the game as it goes along. And I took a lot of inspiration from B films. The very beginning, of course, of the narrative was inspired by them. About the giant ants when they find the little girl in the desert. She's in shock because she had just found out, she just watched her family being savagely torn apart by ants. But you'll see that influence once you start to read it. It's one of my most favorite moments in cinema. Absolutely love it. I love B movies, so I combine B movies, Star Trek. I reached a lot into classic sci-fi in order to do some content editing for this, and I'm super excited about it.
Oh my God, that's intense. That's absolutely. By the way, congratulations with the thing with Deepwater. That is pretty cool. I do have to ask you a nerdy question. Are there any tabletop games you happen to like to play?
Oh, that I would like to play, or that I play?
That you've played.
I played Pathfinder. I am a level 9 gnome oracle.
That was quick. You saw that?
That sounds like a personal ad. I like long walks on the beach. I'm a Gemini, and I'm a level 9 gnome oracle. So
That's a casual conversation for a gamer.
Hit me up for a good time. Come to the basement. We got pizza.
Kasey, as usual, you're phenomenal. I really love the way how your mind works. I really do. I stay on your Instagram. She knows this. If you sign up with her Instagram, you'll see my name at the bottom, liked by CADMA only as well. Keep up the amazing, wonderful work. Once you're able to talk more about the game, once it's released, I definitely want to cover it again or play it. I'm totally sabotaging one of you guys.
Looking forward to your thoughts on the game too. And yeah, follow Deepwater Games if you haven't yet. They're everywhere.
Make sure you follow Deepwater Games, Source Point Press, Kasey, our interview interrupter, Ben Goldsmith for the seance. Check all of them out. They all have amazing, beautiful stories, and we're hooked onto them. So catch on for the trend. Get bitten. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ben.